All right, the purpose of this video is to review the Him movie starring Marlon Wayans and Tariq Withers. The movie was filmed by, I think his name is Justin Tipping. It was produced by Monkey Paw, which is Jordan Peele's team or production company. The movie was good. I'm gonna say 70% of the time. Like as far as the start to finish, I definitely think it flowed pretty well. Um, there were random parts in the movie, like at this time, like let's just say 70% in, but I think the moral of the story or the moral of the movie, if I can just say it in short, was really just about mascot. Like don't be a mascot. Like there's a thin line between being a performer on the field and being a mascot. Both positions entertain the fans, but they serve a different purpose. Like a mascot, I'm not saying they're looked at as a joke, but their sole purpose is to get the crowd going. Whereas a performer, an athlete, yeah, they're supposed to, by winning, they entertain the fans in a way. I mean, I can go deep as far as like styles and genuine entertaining fans from a performer or athletic performer perspective, but I really believe that they serve two different purposes. And so throughout, like, I want to say like the first half, the first 3/4 of the movie, the most random things is really just, I think, portrayals of different like mascots, different like entities that are there to kind of like entertain you. I'm trying to think of, I'm trying to think about, trying to see what direction I'll go with this movie. So, yeah, I say the first quarter, first 3/4 is really just about mascots and stuff. I mean, as far as like the randomness that other than the movie flowing well, it was just seeing that it was the fans, the mascots, and it was the external part of the sport itself. As far as when it comes to randomness, but Tariq Withers and Marlon Wayans, they're basically the main two kind of running the movie. It's kind of, I'm not saying it's weird, but I'm not sure which one is the protagonist or antagonist. But and this is a spoiler alert, so there's gonna be spoilers in here. So if you're gonna watch it, maybe watch this after you watch the movie. But overall, I think the movie was, I think it was okay. I really don't know a rating scale. This is like my first review, but I'll just say this. I think I would watch the movie again to see if I missed any like secret things or like coded language type of stuff. But I'm not sure. The way it ended, to me, it wasn't a good movie. The way it ended, I think the end of the movie was very random and didn't make sense. And I believe maybe they ran out of budget or something and they had to rush it and they were just trying to get the movie out. They didn't know where they were, what direction they were going to go with it. But it just seemed very just random, like off. It didn't make any sense to me personally. But I would just say between the two characters, if I just describe them, Marlon Wayans, I think he acted very, very well. To me, he kind of came off like a P Diddy. Like he came off like a P Diddy if he was a part of a sports franchise and he was like, a mega star in the sports realm. I basically said the same thing but in different ways. So he had a little zest to him, a little like oddness to him. Very sneaky. You knew initially like, okay, this guy's kind of off, not to trust him. And Tariq Withers, he kind of came off like I want to say like an Anakin Skywalker where he's not really, I don't want to say he's naive, but you can tell that he's not invested in the game just like the way Isaiah White, Marlon Wayans is. And you will figure it out in the movie where he's looking at football more as a job, a thing to do to live his life. It doesn't identify him, like being a football player is not where he sees his identity. Where Isaiah White, Marlon Wayans, it seems like that was his thing. Like football was life. You know, and there was times in the movie where, actually I think it was like maybe one moment where Isaiah White, Marlon Wayans was saying, it's football, family, and God. Where Tariq Withers, which is Cameron Cade, he was the opposite. It was God, family, and football. So Cameron was the performer. Isaiah was the mascot. And I think that story, the way it was developed, I think it was good. I think I enjoyed that part of the story. Because I definitely think that there's people that do things that are very passionate at what they do, and they identify themselves as that title or that position. Where some people are like, yo, I'm just doing this job just to make ends meet. It does not define me. So, and like I said, throughout the movie, Isaiah, you can tell by, you know, initially it was his father, and then it was like his mom and his brother. Like they were more invested and they were more excited for him than he was, you know, himself. And then, but like Isaiah White, it was always like, I gotta watch tape. Like he was in the game, I think they said 12 to 15 years, maybe even longer than that. And he still was just so invested in the movie, which it makes sense because in a way, it was like his life was on the line. And you was actually, and if you saw the movie, obviously his life was definitely on the line. I'm not sure if the director was trying to imply that the him spirit or whatnot was just one spirit, and it basically transitions into another host, like into another body, like a physical body, as it, you know, once one body serves its purpose, it moves on to the next body, and et cetera, et cetera. So each day, man, where am I at with this? Okay, so the storyline, I think the storyline itself, the core of the storyline, I really liked it. And it also kind of talked about, and I'm not to bring Diddy up again, but the allegations of him like doing the grooming or whatnot of Cassie and stuff. This movie kind of brings like grooming as well, but from a different perspective. It's not like a sexual thing or anything like that. It was more of a grooming people to be performers, like to be a certain thing. So like throughout the movie, you don't really notice it, but it pops up at the end very randomly, which to me, it didn't make sense. Where the grooming part, as far as Isaiah grooming Cameron, you know, each day of his training session, it kind of made sense. But the ending, where they show like a random guy, I guess, which is the owner of the football team that Cameron is trying to impress, like it's like a picture of him, like where he met he met Cameron as a child or whatnot. And I think that was just, to me, it was just like kind of random. I just wish there was like maybe more hints of it, like that they met before or something like that, or maybe I missed it. I'm not sure. But it was just super random. Like it just like they rushed everything at the end, like, oh, are we gonna bring everything together to kind of come together at the end? And to me, I think they could have worked it better somehow. I like the part. I like how there's like these like diehard, very like satanic type like fans that kind of like they really love Isaiah White, and they even attempt to unalive um, Cameron. So I like that perspective, like how they were showing that. And again, like I don't know if that was like other spirits from a different world that were possessing these people. I'm not sure, but I like that kind of stuff. But overall, I think the movie was really good. I just think that, well, let me take that back. I think most of the movie was good until the part where it becomes evident that it's going to be a Coliseum fight for the death between these two people, Marlon Wayans and Tariq Withers. And it was just very rushed. It was just, I don't know, I just think overall the movie was just very rushed. And I think I already said it maybe in this one. This is my third time trying to record this. But I think I would watch it again to see if I missed anything. But will I watch it like on a regular, like once a year or every 5 years? Probably not. Justin Tipping, I'm not really familiar with his work. I don't know what he's done outside of this. And like I said, he has potential. But again, I just think that something was going on with the ending. And I think maybe they ran out of budget. And that's the reason why the ending was just trash. It just did not make sense. But overall, the movie was decent. And I think most people would probably agree that once you see the ending, you're going to be like, what the hell is this? Is this out of a Quentin Tarantino movie? Like, it was just straight up, it was gory, and it was just random, it was just chaos. And it just, to me, it just did not flow with the movie at all. But someone that, as someone that used to play sports and used to, and like know people that like played at a very high level and the stuff that they talked about, it wasn't as close as this movie. Obviously, it wasn't as close as the way this movie presented it, but there is a thin line between being a mascot and being a performer. And I think that's what they were trying to narrate in the movie. It's like, okay, in life, what are you going to be? Are you going to be the performer? Are you just going to do your work and go home? Or are you going to focus on the validation of, entertaining people? So that's my review. This is my first review, but I plan on doing some more reviews. If you're interested, feel free to follow. And I'm going to continue to do this. So take care.